Hello and welcome to Literari's Coterie. Today you are in for a discussion on literary terms, simile and metaphor. A simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison, showing similarities between two things which are different. Take for example, if we say our soldiers are as brave as lions, or John is as slow as a snail. We know lions are acknowledged for their bravery, and of course we also know our soldiers too are quite brave. So the bravery of the soldiers is compared with the bravery of the lions, and this is a simile. Similarly, John is as slow as a snail. So snails are notorious for their slow pace, and here the slowness of John is compared to that of a snail. And mark the use of as in the example. So when we do a simile, we make use of words like or like. Just have a look at a few of the examples on your screens and see how the as or like are used. Okay, simile introduces vividness into what we say. So authors and poets use simile to convey their sentiments, their emotions and thoughts through vivid word pictures. And of course, similes add beauty to the writing, they add beauty to our speech, and it makes the poetry or it makes a song beautiful. The poets and writers make use of similes as they attract attention, and it appeals directly to the senses of listeners and readers. It encourages their imagination to understand what is being communicated by the writer or by the speaker. And one more beautiful thing about simile is that it brings rhythm, or it brings a lifelike quality in our daily speech, and of course to the characters of fiction or poetry. And simile allows the readers to relate the feelings of a writer or poet to their personal experiences. Therefore, the use of similes makes it easier for readers to understand the subject matter of a literary text. So it can be possible that you miss out on the meaning of a particular poem or the meaning which a particular speaker wants to communicate, but using the simile makes it quite easier to comprehend, and it makes it easier for the reader or for the listener to make out the meaning, to understand it, to grasp it, and that's what the importance of simile is. And besides, it adds a lifelike quality to our daily speech. Our daily songs, our daily conversations are so replete with similes. Take for example, if we find somebody pretty, we call that person is beautiful as a rose. Doesn't mean that person is a rose literally, but we are comparing the beauty of the rose with the beauty of the person. So it's quite common in our daily routine, in our daily speech. Therefore, the use of similes makes it easier for readers to understand the subject matter of a literary text, which may have been otherwise too demanding to be understood. Please pay attention to the examples of simile on your screens. I hope it was fairly easy to comprehend for you, and now we'll move on to our next literary term, which is metaphor. Well, the figure of speech metaphor too makes a comparison between two dissimilar things, but it's not a direct comparison, rather it's an implicit or hidden comparison between two things that are unrelated, but which share some common characteristic like simile. In other words, both the dissimilar things share some of the common characteristics, and based on this similarity, they are compared with each other. So metaphor refers to one thing by mentioning another. When the writer or speaker relates the two unrelated things that are not actually the same, and the audience understands that it's a comparison and it's not a literal equation. So metaphor is when you portray a person, place, thing, or an action as being something else. Even though it is not actually that something else, you are speaking metaphorically. If I comment on a girl saying that she is a walking encyclopedia, I don't mean that she is an encyclopedia and is walking. What exactly I mean to say is that she contains the amount of knowledge which is only expected from an encyclopedia. Or if we say a person has a heart of gold, that does not literally mean that the person's heart is made up of gold. It only means that the person has many precious virtues. So his virtues are compared to gold, that a person has a heart of gold. And similarly, if you're comparing a person with a rat, pig, an elephant, or a dog. So what exactly you are doing here is that you are comparing the qualities of those animals with the person you are referring to. Maybe you find something common in both the things, in both in the person or in the animal. So you're drawing a comparison, though both are different, both are dissimilar, but yet you see some kind of similarity and you start drawing a comparison, and that is metaphor. So you can convey absolutely anything by making use of metaphor, and it is often used in poetry to communicate the complex things, and it makes the matters easy for the poets to communicate their complex thoughts in an easy and vivid way. Maybe the reason lies in the fact that metaphors do help to communicate complex images and feelings to the readers, and they depict the comparison very emotively, so they are often used in poetry. Well, I hope both the figures of speech, metaphor and simile are clear to you, and you will be able to mark them while reading your poems. In our next segment, we'll discuss few more literary terms. That's all for now. Thank you so much.